Hello guys and welcome back. So in the last video we completed our home screen UI. Now let's move to the profile screen. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we need to be navigating to the profile screen. Okay, so let's go back in the home screen here where we have a home app bar. Let's go here and then here on this circular avatar, let's see, does this have on tap function? Let's see. Okay, it does not have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this with the inkwell. Okay, we're gonna wrap this with the inkwell widget. Sorry, not this. We want the inkwell widget, and then on top we want to navigate to the profile screen. Okay, so what we're gonna do is first let's get that comment, then say navigator and or push, and then here material page route, then we're gonna say context, then we're gonna navigate to profile screen. So this one, let's pass something, okay, in the profile screen. So first let's import it, and then let's pass the UID in the profile screen, which is for now let's just pass like an empty ID for now, because we don't have a UID. We have not yet set up that. Okay, so we're just gonna be passing the UID. Now if we go to the profile screen here, let's pass the required UID, and then let's initialize that UID. Okay, so here where we are checking the these items here, like for example this, to show this notification and stuff, let's check here. Okay, let's only show these if he is the owner of the profile. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna check if okay, for now we're gonna do a simple check. Okay, final is owner, which means he's owner of the profile. For now we're gonna check if UID is equals to 123, which means you are the owner of the profile. Okay, or we can say if UID dot is not empty. Okay, is not empty, which means you are the owner of the profile. Okay, and then here we're gonna check if is owner, we will show this, and then in the else we're gonna return now. Okay, like that. Okay, so if we hot reload right now, once we click here, we're gonna go to the profile screen. Okay, now we are not showing this because the UID is empty, because here we say if widget.uid is not empty, that's when we will show this. Okay, so this is just a simple check that we are checking because we are not yet passing the real data. So if we go to the home app bar, if we put something like 123 here, if we hot reload, let's go back. If we click here, we can see that because this is not empty, we are passing the data. Now we'll be able to change the theme. Okay, so that's how we are going to check in the profile if is your profile or is not your profile. Okay, so we can close this home app bar for now, we don't need it, and then the constant and maybe main. Okay, let's work in the profile screen. So in the profile screen, the first thing that we're going to work on is the widget for the user data here. Okay, so instead of the center here, we are going to return a column. So let's wrap this with a column. Okay, now the first child is going to be the user data, like the image, the name, and the status, and then all of that. Okay, so for that, let's create a separate widget for that. Okay, so I'm gonna name that user info section. Okay, so let's go on the widgets, let's right click here, then let's say user info section dot dat. So this one is going to be a stateless widget. Let's say user info section. Now in this one also, let's also require UID. Okay, let's pass it. Let's also check if final is owner. Okay, that if that is not empty, then you are the owner of the profile. And then here, instead of this, let's return a column also, okay, which also has children. Okay, now let's create the children of this column. Okay, so the first one is going to be the user image. So for that, let's go back to the home app bar, and then we just simply gonna copy this, okay, without wasting time. Then come back here, and then we want to paste it here, but now here let's change it to 50. Okay, this is not, it's not a child, it's just that. And then after that, we're gonna need a constant of sized box, sized box of height of let's get 16. Then after this, we're gonna have a text. This is going to be a name. So for now, I'm just gonna put the hard-coded data. Let's just give this some style, which comes from text style. And then this one, let's just get theme. Okay, we need to say what are we going to do here? Okay, let's just say theme dot of context dot text theme dot medium, like that. So let's close. Looks like we have an extra bracket. So right after that, we're gonna have another size box. So let's copy that, then paste it here. So this one, let's just put a small spacing, and then after this one, we're gonna have like a secondary text. So let's copy this and then paste it here. So here, let's say something like at Dexter profile. So this one, let's change it a bit. Let's say text theme dot let's do body medium dot with opacity. Let's say, okay, yeah, we have to say a question mark like that, and then dot copy width. So this one, let's give it a color dot a gray color, and then let's copy that once again. It should come after this text. Let's put a size box, and then right after this size box, we need to have another text which is going to be this is going to be like the about me text. Okay, let's put another comma. So this, let's say hello, let's say I'm using WallShare. Okay, it's going to be one word like that, WallShare. Okay, so yeah, maybe let's have this like this, and then let's remove this copy. Okay, maybe let's keep it like that. And then what next here? What is the next thing that we're going to do here? So let's again just get this size box and then paste it here. And then here we need to have a row of posts, likes, and post, followers, following. Okay, so let's have a row widget with children. So now here, let's create these children. So for this, let's create a separate social button. Okay, for now, let's just comment this out and then reload. Okay, so once we reload, we have if we go to profile, then we have this. Okay, so let's show our user info section here. So let's go to profile screen, and then here let's show our user info section, and then here we're just gonna pass widget.uid. Let's hot reload. Okay, you can see that we have that. Okay, that's something that we want to show. Okay, so let's not worry about this because we are going to push this on the center. We can simply push that with main axis alignment, actually cross axis alignment, dot center. Let's hot reload. Okay, it's actually main axis alignment dot center. Let's hot reload. Okay, now we want to move that not across here. It was actually cross axis alignment. So anyway, let's not worry about this. We're going to move this in the center. We want to just go step by step. If we want, we can just wrap this in the center. Okay, like that. Okay, but that's not how we want to deal with it. We can change that later. Okay, for now let's just keep it like this so that you know how it's going. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do inside here, we have to create this row of social buttons. Okay, so maybe let's create a separate widget for that. Okay, so let's create that. So let's go on the widgets, right click, new file. Let's call this as a social, I'm gonna call it as social details. Okay, yeah, you can name it whatever you feel is correct, but I think I'm gonna name it social details. Okay, so this, let's make it a stateless widget called social details. So here we're gonna pass two things. Okay, so first, let's require this dot label. Let's also require what we're gonna need the count. Okay, so this dot count, and then let's require also the on pressed. Okay, on tap, yeah, we can just call it on tap or on pressed, like that. Okay, now let's just initialize all of these, and then this one, let's keep it as nullable because we may not want to click on some of them. Okay, so let's return a gesture detector. So now here, let's start with on tap, which is going to be on pressed, and then here let's have a child of a column. So what we're going to do is first let's have a text of count, and then we're going to have a label. So let's click tab here. I think it's doing it correct, but what we want is we want to put the count on top. Okay, so let's cut it here and then paste it here, and then let's get this size box and put, okay, maybe we don't even need the size box. Okay, let's see how it will look like this. So yeah, so for the theme, maybe let's get the text theme dot let's do headline small. Okay, headline small, and then for this one, let's keep it a body medium. Okay, like this. Now if we go back here, where is that, our widget, user info screen. So here, let's have a social details. So for the label, this first one is going to be posts. Okay, like that. And then the count, let's see how we're going to give it here. Maybe 952. And then on pressed, this one we don't need anyone to press on it, so sorry. So on pressed we can remove it. Okay, so we've put it as required. So let's go back here and then let's just do this dot on pressed. Okay, so that it's not required, we can just get away with it without putting anything. Okay, so also now after this one we want to have the following. Okay, So let's do again social details. Here we're going to have followers. So followers, maybe the counts, let's say something like 2000, 200, or maybe 2. And then okay, let's not put the commas inside here, let's put the comma here. And then here also let's have the following. So the following, maybe let's say 1 2, something like this. Okay, now let's have a constant keyword because we are not getting the real data here. Now if we hot reload, we are going to have something like that, which does not look right. Okay, so to fix this, what we want to do is these figures here, let's format them. Okay, so first let's do main axis alignment. Let's do space evenly. Let's hot reload. Now we're gonna have something like that, but we need to format these numbers. Okay, so let's create a separate widget to format these numbers. Okay, so for that, I think we're gonna create another here in the utilities. Here let's just create a utility class. Okay, utilities dot. Okay, now inside here we're gonna say class utilities. Now here we need to create the utility to format the numbers. Maybe we'll put some of the utilities inside here. Okay, so let's just write the comment method to format a number with 1000 separator. Okay, so let's see if it will create. Okay, right now it has created the regex, but I'm not really sure how this regex is correct. So let me just write a simple one. Okay, I'm just gonna remove all of this, and then here I'm just gonna say if number is greater than or equal to 1000 and that number is less than, what I'm gonna put it here, 1,000,000, 1 2 3 4 5 6, like that. In this case I will return I have to return now, yeah, like this. Okay, I'm going to return with a k. Okay, which means it's 1k, that number with a k. Okay, so else if, yeah, if the number is equal to or greater than that, it's going to be 1,000,000. Else we are going to return that number. Okay, it is going to be as simple as this one. Okay, now if we can close this utility class and then come here and then go into our social details. Here we need to use that function that we have created. So, okay, so here we just need to call our utilities dot format number, and then we are going to put the count here. Now we need to say to, oh, okay, it's already coming as a string. Okay, so we just need to get that count here because it's returning this as a string. Now if we hot reload, you can see now this says 2.0k, and then let's remove that. You can see that 1.2k, so 2.0k, 1.2k. If it was more than like 1,000,000, it was going to say 1,000,000. If we like come here and then put another 0 here, let's see. If we hot reload, okay, it's going to be like that, and then let's put another 0. If we hot reload, it's going to, okay, it's not yet to 1,000,000. Let's put another 0. You can see that now it has changed to 1,000,000. Okay, so let's just keep it the way it was, like that. Okay, so that's how we are going to format these. Okay, Now, next thing to do is we need to create a button here to edit the profile and to follow the person. Okay, so that's the next thing that we're going to do just after this row. Okay, so here we're going to have two buttons. Okay, we're going to either show a edit profile button if it's your profile, or we're going to show a follow button if it's not your profile. Okay, so let's do that. So first let's create a main app button that we're going to use throughout the application, which is going to be, in our case, the edit button here. Okay, so let's go on the widgets, right click, new folder, let's call this main app button.dat. so this is also going to be a stateless widget, main app button. So this one we are going to reuse it throughout the application. So we're going to send some required arguments. Let's say require this dot icon, and then let's also require this dot label, and then we're going to require on pressed, and then what else? So let's say this dot background color. This should not be required. Okay, we're going to have a default color for this, which is going to be colors dot white. Okay, so let's just bring this down so that we can have more space. Next, we're going to say this dot foreground for, okay, let's put a period there, foreground color. So this is going to be, by default, we're going to give it as a black. Okay, colors dot black. Then what else? So this dot text color. So this one is going to be like colors dot black by default. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have something like that. Then let's just initialize it. This, hopefully assistant will do this really quickly since it's not doing it. Let's just do it. Icon data is going to be icon. Next, we're going to get final, what is that, string label. Next is going to be final void callback, on pressed. Let's close this properly. Then we're going to have those two. Okay, so the color we can just initialize as 1, and then we can deal with them like that. Okay, now here we need to get the elevated button icon, because we want to use that icon. Okay, on pressed, we want to call on pressed. The label, we want to call that same label, but let's just give it some text style. So this is going to be coming from the text widget, then it's going to be label, and then we have to give it some style. So this one, let's call it from text style. So the font weight is going to be font weight dot let's say W600, and then what else? Font size, let's give it 18, and then color, we're gonna get the text color that we are passing. Okay, that's it. And then next, what do we want to put next? We want to get the elevation of the button. Okay, so also let's give this button an icon. Okay, so icon is obviously going to come from icons, and then we'll pass that icon that is coming from there, and then the icon will also give it the same text color that we will send for the text color. Okay, now next, let's give the button style. Okay, now this is going to come from elevated button elevated button dot style. It's called elevated button dot style from. Okay, so elevated like that. Okay, so here we're just gonna put background color, foreground color, and then also the shape. Okay, the shape is going to be circular with that radius, and then let's also give this a minimum size. Okay, let's I think we are missing a bracket. You need to close it like that, put the comma, and then let's also give it a minimum size. Okay, so minimum size, this is going to be okay, let's just say a constant of size, and then it's going to be just the wall screen. Okay, and double dot infinite, and then the height, let's give it a 50. Okay, so I think that's it about the main up button. Okay, so next let's create the follow button. Okay, so for the follow button also we need to come here and then new folder. Let's do follow button dot dat stateless widget follow button, and then here let's create it. So we basically just gonna return our main up button, but since we are going to do a lot of things in the follow button, that's why we are also just creating a separate one. Also here we need to pass the required this .uid. Okay, like that, and then let's initialize it. So for the icon for the follow button, for now let's pass icons dot let's say person add, and then the label, let's pass the follow, and then on pressed, for now we don't have to pass anything. Okay, what else? So the background color. Okay, so background color here, let's say colors dot deep purple, and then the text color, let's say colors dot white. Okay, because by default is black. I think that's it, but we will do later on, we'll do more on this as we add the real data. Okay, now we just need to close these for now. This one will close. Let's also close the main up button. Now in here, let's first get the size box and then put it right after this row. Now next we need to check if is owner. If you are the owner, we want to show you the main up button which says edit profile. So here we're gonna say icons dot edit, then the label, label, we're gonna say edit profile. Then on pressed, you know that we are going to navigate to edit profile. Okay, that's it. If you are not the owner, we are going to show your follow button which will pass the UID. Okay, that's it. Now if we hot reload, you can see that we have the edit profile. If let's click on the profile, you can see that now we have the edit profile because we are the owner of the profile. Now if this is owner, for example, if this, let's say, is okay, anyway, let's not even have a check. We can remove everything here just to see how the follow button looks. If we hot reload, you can see that now we have a follow button, but this one we need to extend it to the screen that it takes the whole screen, but don't worry, we will do that as well. Okay, so let's go to Control Z to put this back, then let's hot reload. Okay, Now what I want is, I don't want it to be just when we click it, it's showing like this. Let's add some kind of animation that it eases in. Okay, that nice animation that we want. Okay, but maybe before that, let's also show the grid down here for this user's images. Then after the grid, then we can animate this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now the grid is actually going to be simple because we've already created the reusable widget. So let's go to the profile screen. Right after this user info screen, which is in the center, down below here we can create another expanded widget. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let's have just an expanded expanded, which is going to have a child. So the child of this expanded is going to have a wallpapers grid. Okay, now for now, since we're not getting the real data here, we're just going to get all the wallpapers. Okay, wallpapers, the wallpaper, and then on top we simply going to because on top returns actually a wallpaper. Again, we have to navigate to wallpapers screen. Okay, now right after this, we need to have some variables for the grid. Okay, since it's in the profile, we want to show 3 of them. Okay, so let's do cross axis count. Let's change this to 3. And then, yeah, I think that's all we need to change, because if we go into the wallpaper grid, maybe this is still fine, this and this. Okay, and also the child aspect ratio. Okay, now that we have that, we can try to hot reload. You can see that now we are also displaying this grid. Okay, we are displaying this grid in the profile screen. Okay, now what's remaining is just maybe to add some padding. We can add the padding to the parent here. We can wrap this in the padding. Okay, which is we can just simply wrap this in a padding widget, then hot reload. Then we have something which looks like that. Okay, now let's quickly add some animation before we end this profile UI. Okay, then also put this properly. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, let's go up here, and then just up here let's create some animations, because this one I want it to animate when showing it. Okay, great. So let's quickly do that, but maybe let's do that in the next video. For now, let's end here. At least we are showing the UI for the profile. In the next one, we'll add some animation here, and also I want to add the proper widget to display this about me, because it may be longer, and then we don't want this widget to change the height. Okay, so if you like this video, guys, please consider subscribing to my channel. It helps me a lot, and leave a like button, leave a like to this video. Thank you, guys, and see you in the next video.